Hi everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. We're here today with Nicole Kada, Junior Binno. Nicole is with Blind Boss Entertainment. She's a YouTuber and she's here to share her story.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing very good.
Good. It's awesome to have you on our show.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's get to talking from a little bit of your YouTube and what you've experienced in life and what got you to getting on there and having fun with that YouTube channel.
Awesome. Where do you want me to start?
Just introduce yourself and just talk about a little bit about your background and then roll into the YouTube channel and what inspired you for that.
Okay, so I am Nicole Kada, as Anthony said, and my YouTube channel name is actually Nicole Kada, but I say Blind Boss Entertainment because I have other social media and I have a hashtag Blind Boss Entertainment, which is where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
But I am legally blind. I was born with Leber's congenital amaurosis, which is a rare eye disease which affects the retina. So basically my retina is dying as I get older. I have very minimal vision. Well, eyesight. Vision is totally different.
Explain that.
So I think that eyesight is when you physically can't see something, and vision is internal.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes from the heart, and it's not your eyes. So,
That makes
more
sense.
like ambition. Like I relate vision with ambition and still being
Sure.
able to do things, and eyesight is just physical.
Right. Now
So
that makes a lot of
different.
sense.
They're different to me.
It's a good point.
A lot of people wouldn't think that way, but
Yeah. Like I always tell people, I'm like, I'm blind with visions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
a good way of looking.
So you just like to
Yeah.
confuse people.
Exactly.
That's nice.
But yeah, so I am Chaldean. My parents are both from Iraq, and I was actually born here, so I'm a first gen.
Hey.
And I speak Chaldean, Arabic, and English. And I have 3 siblings. I went to a million different schools growing up. I
Why is
transferred
that?
schools all the time. It was
Did you
more
move
like,
around or?
well, no, I've actually lived at the same house my entire life.
Yeah.
But I started off at Bussy Center. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's
I
a
haven't, no.
preschool, and it was a preschool in Southfield. They shut it down.
Okay.
And I went there, and then I went to Royal Oak Schools because they had a special program for blind people.
Oh, nice.
And so I was in this classroom from kindergarten until 4th grade, but they shut that school down when I was in 2nd grade, so we had to switch schools. And then in 4th grade, the teacher that was in charge of the program, I don't know if she got offered another job or what happened, but halfway through 4th grade year, she's like, guys, I'm not going to be here next semester, so you guys are going to all have to go to your home schools. So I had to go to school in Southfield.
Wow.
And then I went to Stevenson. I only lasted there for a semester, and then my parents found Vandenberg.
Sure.
And
I know both of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you get for making being blind look so easy.
Yeah,
God
right.
challenging you and
Right,
throwing you off into
seriously.
different
Yeah.
schools
So
every.
then I went to Vandenberg, and then thankfully for middle school and high school, I was at one school the entire time.
Mhm.
But then even in college, I went to Oakland University, and then I changed my major like 4 times. I didn't know what I was doing, so I took a year off. And then I went to OCC because I was like, okay, guys, I've taken a year off. What am I doing with my life? I'm just like sitting at home doing nothing.
Sure.
So I ended up going to OCC. I found my passion in nutrition while I was at OCC, so I transferred to Wayne State, and then now I'm graduating in like 51 days. I think it's 51
Oh, really?
days.
Congratulations.
I'm counting. It's really sad.
No, it's okay. Good for
Counting
you.
down.
Good for you. So let's talk for a second about all the steps you took from one school to the other, how difficult it may have been or how easy it was. I mean, it's one thing when you go from school to school to make friends, right?
Right.
But you went not just making friends, you had the situation where you had to learn every step of your way through that school every time. How was that experience, and what was your means of overcoming that?
It was actually really difficult because I used to have mobility skills, so orientation and mobility is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it as a kid. Like, I was like, I don't need this, because my eyesight was decent enough for me to not use a cane.
Sure.
But they kept, trying to encourage me to use my cane. The instructor's like, you're going to need to use your cane. And I'm a kid, so I don't understand the extent of my eyesight going to the point where I actually do need to use my cane. So I was stubborn. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then my parents didn't really encourage it at home because they saw it the same way that I did. Like, well, why does she need to use it if she can see enough without, what's the point?
Yeah.
And so it was hard, but it was also, I think because I did have some eyesight, it made it easier to navigate. But making friends was the hard part because I honestly don't remember any childhood friends until about 5th grade because I was secluded in this classroom with just blind students, and I would get exposure to a regular classroom maybe, I don't remember exactly if it was an hour a day or a couple hours a week. But I feel like that took away my opportunity of making friends.
Sure.
I have friends from that program that are blind, but we weren't super close. Like how other people are like, oh my gosh, that's my childhood best friend. We all disconnected. Once that program shut down and we got sent to our home schools, we didn't have Facebook and Twitter and and texting. We didn't have phones when I was in 4th grade because, yes, I am old enough to know what life was like before cell phones.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not like now where my little sister's 9 years old and she has all her friends on Snapchat. It wasn't like that. It's like you all go your separate ways and then you hope to reconnect later in the future.
Sure.
Well, I was going to say, you really don't, I mean, I don't know any of those people that back in those days,
That's true, yeah.
So you really didn't miss out.
I didn't miss out. Like, honestly, I really didn't miss out.
Agreed.
But it just, like, sucks when I look back and I'm like, wow, I don't really remember having friends that I, like,
it's
played with.
Your cousins.
But, like,
it's your cousins and your...
Exactly.
That's what I was
close
say.
cousins.
Right.
That's
You
that's
got
what
to
the
make
benefit of being a Chaldean.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to ask. When you got to Stevenson and you got to Vandenberg, at least you had Chaldean peers. You know what I'm saying? How did that go?
Not really so much, but at Vandenberg I did. And actually, like, now that I realize I'm lying because one of my best friends I did go to Vandenberg with. We don't talk all the time, but she's one of those friends where we might hang out once a year, but it's like we never were apart from each other.
Sure.
So I guess that's what matters.
That's like Anthony and I. Believe it or not, before
Really?
this, I would connect with him once, twice a year just to see how he's doing this. I'd see him around, but
now I see him too damn much.
So it's a blessing and a curse, okay? So just so you know that. So
be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Junior starts showing up every other day.
So you started working with your cane, which I can understand and relate to that because I have 2 brothers that are also visually impaired, but who were against using it. There were times that they used it.
Right.
So now I've been reading and researching on there's canes that are coming out with the GPS ability, right?
Yeah, it's like $500. I've looked into it, but like, I don't know. For me, I'm not so interested in it because I feel like once you have, I think the proper training, you don't really need that GPS. Like for me, I'm fine with just looking something up before I go. And then going, and then if I get lost, I get lost.
It's still technology. I mean, what did you do before your phone, right?
Right. If I didn't have my phone, then that would kind of suck because I do use GPS on my phone, but also, there's something that just brings me so much joy with getting lost and finding my way.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm very adventurous. Like I was telling Anthony before this that I went to Washington, D.C. by myself last year.
Wow.
Actually, I went to Boston, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C., and Ohio. It was a whole trip. I was like, I'm doing this by myself.
Ohio's not even near those other states that you mentioned.
It's not. One of my best friends lives there, so I went to go.
You stopped in?
Yeah.
I was like,
that's so cool.
Well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. So I visited friends at all of those places, so I didn't have to pay for a hotel, which was nice.
Very cool.
This is why you gotta make friends all over the place.
No doubt. How long was that trip?
It was about 2 weeks total.
2 weeks? Oh, wow. Nice. And what did you see? Like, what was the... What were some of the highlights of your trip?
I think my favorite part was Washington, D.C. because their transportation is, oh my God, it's so badass. Like
yes, because you know why, right? I'm saying versus here.
It's amazing. I did not Uber once that entire trip from like at all. And I had never experienced good transportation to the point where if I need to be somewhere, I could literally look it up and there's a bus 5 minutes away.
Sure.
If I miss that bus, there's another one in 5 minutes. So it didn't really matter. I could walk a couple of blocks, catch a bus, catch a train or a sub, whatever they're called over there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And my friend who I went to go visit, he's blind too. And he's the one, he travels everywhere. And he's the one that encouraged me. He's like, if you really want to learn, just come to DC and I'll teach you. And so I went, and he did not help me at all in terms of, he's like, you're going to come from the airport to my apartment and I'm not going to help you. And I was like, okay. It took like 2 hours because, of course, I missed my stop on the metro, the subway. And then I was like, what do I do? Like, do I get off at the next stop? Do I write it out to the end? Because here you write the bus out to the end, you're only going to end up 30 minutes away, and then it just goes in a circle.
Right. Of
course.
But then I was like, oh my God, this thing is not stopping. So 10 stops away, I stopped.
That's
and I was
hilarious.
like, I don't know what to do.
So
What did you do?
I asked someone at the station for help. They got me onto the next train, and then I just figured it out from there, because then I had to take a bus to his apartment. They dropped me off like 4 blocks away. My GPS wasn't working. My compass wasn't working. And so he's like, well, I'm here at this. And then I figured it out. Took like a long time, but I figured it out. And I managed. But by the end of that trip, I was confident enough to be like, yo, Kevin, you're not coming to the airport with me. I'm just going to leave your apartment, and I'm going to go to the airport by myself. And I made it, and I didn't get lost, and it was amazing.
So, Kevin.
so the shitty part about Michigan, the many don't realize it unless you're in their situation, the people that get visually impaired and can't drive, is the gift that we have by the big three is that we got the best deals in the country for cars, because they want every single home to have one of those cars in the driveway.
Yeah.
But what they do, they also lobby and fight to have the shittiest transportation services
So that you
available.
They got it. They got it. They're winning.
They're winning. So that's a big issue. And I want to touch on with what you said. So I never realized, you may not know this or have been told this, but I lost my arm and was amputated in a car accident, okay? So prior to that, I was only experiencing it through my brothers, like their disability, right?
Right.
But when I saw them push through so many things, and like you're saying, okay, the cane, I don't know, I'm reluctant sometimes to use it, or I went and did this and pushed through it.
Right.
So my brother would walk from 14 in Haggerty to 15 Mile back around in a 4-mile radius and visually impaired, and I'd pull up on him and cuss him out from the streets, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Get in the car. But after I lost my arm, I realized what it means to somebody who's disabled in certain ways to push harder, because we have a point to prove to ourselves first, right? That we can make it. So, like, sometimes I'll carry something that's 50, 60 pounds on one arm and one shoulder,
I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm saying to it, and I'm not supposed to, you know what I'm saying? I'm tearing away at things, but I get it, and I respect when you guys do that.
Right.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because you're letting people know that you fight every day, and you push every day, but you're not going to stop living every day.
No,
you know?
you don't. You got to live your life to the fullest. Like, people, so I make blind jokes constantly, which you guys, I'm sure, have already noticed.
Tell us a good one.
Oh, I can't, I don't just make blind jokes on the spot. It's like when he said, oh, I'm sure you didn't notice that my arm was amputated. I was like, oh, I didn't even see it. Like, it was so hard for me to not say that.
Oh, trust me. It's okay. It's listen, you have to have your own shits and giggles in your own self, because at the end of the day, you find your humor to be able to overcome.
It's a coping mechanism,
Thank
and
you.
people don't understand that. Some people are like, oh, I hate when you make blind jokes. It's like really sad. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's coping. Like, would you rather me sit here and cry and complain and be like, I can't do anything? Or would you rather me be making blind jokes, be happy, and be like, I'm going to go do everything that I want to do?
Of course.
Well, to be fair, I can't see his arm either.
Yeah. It's gone too. And just so you know, the story of telling it over and over got so boring that I had to tell the next customer who walked in, who didn't see it 2 years ago when they got a phone from me. How did it happen? I said I was in Detroit. They wanted to steal my watch. They took my whole arm. You know what I'm saying? It got boring.
It was a nice watch.
It was a nice watch. So I'm with you. You gotta learn to cope with it by humor, and that's great. So is that what led you to getting into your YouTube channel and what you do on social media?
Yeah, it actually did. Definitely, because I got so tired of people doubting me and judging and being like, she can't do this. How does she go to college? How does she make friends? How does she travel? Or not even just how, but like can you? And I'm like, yes, I can. And so my goal of my channel is to show people out there, like, no matter what your disability is, no matter what your situation is, you can literally overcome anything that you want to overcome, as long as you have to put in the work. It's not easy. And you have to wake up with that motivation and the drive, and it takes a really, really, really long time to get there. But once you get there, nothing will stop you. Like, literally anything I want to do, I'm like, I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
And I do. And sometimes getting around, like, let's say ice skating the other day. I went ice skating.
Oh, I can't even do that.
And
I can't even do that shit. So good.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? My little sister really wanted to go, and she's never been. And I was like, we're going to go to Campus Martius. But I was like, but I'm going to need a guide, because I'm not going to just skate with a bunch of people around. Like, I have anxiety that'll make me anxious. I'm going to run into someone's going to run into me. They're not going to know I'm blind. And so I called them to see if I could get a guide, and they didn't answer. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to go.
Screw it.
We're just going to go. Whatever happens, we're going.
Now, did you use your cane while you're skating?
So I'm going to get to that.
Okay,
so
okay.
we get on the ice. Eventually, the
So
guide...
shut the fuck up, Anthony.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Yep.
Eventually...
You thought it, right?
Not really.
Okay,
I'm nicer
okay.
than that.
All right.
How old's your sister, first of all?
9.
9, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she had never been. So I want her to, like, live her life, too.
Yeah.
And so...
Good for you for being that older sister.
I'm the rebel of the family. I'm known to being the rebel. Like, I will do whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope she doesn't rebel in any, like, bad way, but I want her to live her life and be adventurous.
Of course, yeah.
So, like, with skating, I didn't know, but you're allowed to use your cane on the ice, and I've never done that before. But now that I know that, I'm going to always do it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't just take the chance of going.
Right,
Sure.
right.
So...
Sure. And I like that you're adventurous. So, you're saying rebellious, adventurous, 2 different outlooks, right?
That is true,
So
yeah.
your younger sister sees adventure.
Yeah, she
right?
does.
She may not see the rebel in you because, being at that age and understanding different things, she looks at it more of like, I got an older hero.
Right.
So,
I hope so.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she tagged along. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it sounds like you guys have a great relationship, and especially
we definitely do.
Yeah, you're keeping yourself tied into it. Just curious how, she sees it a little bit different than normal kids growing up, because she's got someone older who she has to somewhat help take care of at times, right? So how does the relationship work with you guys? What is her role with you?
She's really good. It took a while for her to learn. She still has progress to make. Like, so my sister Bianca is 21, and her and I are only a couple years apart. So she is really good with working with me. Like, we have a system. When we go out, she automatically knows to take my arm, or I take her arm, and we just have a system. My little sister's learning that now, so she might miss telling me, like, there's a curb, but I have my cane, so technically I shouldn't even rely on her eyes to tell me there's a curb or there's a step. But she'll walk me near, like, the edges of things, or, like, railings where my cane's not even going to move. And my kid's like, Angelina, you can't do that. You need to walk further away so she can use her cane. But she's getting in the habit of learning. Even with ice skating, she was holding my hand, making sure she kept enough distance between us.
Nice.
But at the end, she's like, I really wish I could just let go of your hand so I can skate by myself. And I was like, you can. Just put me by the edge so I can use my cane and trail the wall.
Yeah.
And you go do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's awesome. So just little funny thing is, I hold Omar too at times when we're walking. It's a little tough sometimes because I'm one hand, so when I'm trying to open the doors and other things, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm trying to get him to help me with the door, but if it's somebody that I don't like coming our way and I don't care for them, I let my hand go and let him just actually bulldoze them into them. So it's a good thing.
He's a bigger guy.
He's a bigger guy, so it's my advantage. You know what I'm saying?
As long as he doesn't get hurt.
Well, listen. At the end of the day, it's a oops. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oops, I didn't see you there.
Yeah. So it's okay at times, right?
He's a brick wall.
Yes.
He's a brick wall. He's not going to get hurt.
Yeah. So you do things that stay adventurous and fun. Do you is that what you blog on your YouTube? Is that what you like? What are some of the stuff you put out there?
So I like to show myself doing things that people would not think that a blind person could do, or just show myself as a normal person. So I have videos on there of me embroidering because I love embroidering.
Okay.
I tried blind hockey. I'm not athletic whatsoever, but I was like, let's try it. Why not?
Yeah.
So I did blind hockey. I have a video of that. I have other videos that are educational for people that are actually like curious as to how blind people use their phones, how they use other technology like computers, or let's see, like for me, because I'm still a student, so I've done a demonstration of how I use technology as a student to help me be successful.
Yep.
I have, let me see. I'm trying to like think of. I have so many videos. I don't even know what I have.
That's okay.
There.
The episode in the dark about.
Oh yeah, I have a episode of things that blind people can do in the dark that sighted people can't.
Okay.
But they, I mean, you can, but most people
Good
just
luck.
Could you open hand slap somebody that's giving you some lip in the dark? I just want to know because I'll use you. I'll turn the lights off in a room and I'll let you just go to town on them if you can. Smack them.
What did the hand say to the face?
Yeah. Smack.
I mean, you'd be surprised because I can feel when people are around me. Maybe I can't see them, but I can definitely feel when there's someone there.
Yeah.
So I probably could do that.
Yeah, that I might have to hire you on a certain evening.
So you're dressed to the T. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
How do you do that?
Partially myself, partially my sister.
Okay.
Like I don't know what color any of my clothing is. A lot of blind people would judge me for that because they use apps for that, and I don't. I have very minimal apps on my phone. I need to download them. I'm just lazy, to be honest. Like, I don't want to. I have sighted people around and be like, hey,
so you're
what
wearing
color
a black
is
and
this?
white snakeskin top with a black sweater jacket type thing?
Blazer thing, you think?
Blazer
I
thing,
call it
okay.
a blazer. I don't know if it is.
Black jeans and black boots.
Yes.
And a
like,
beautiful
boots.
cross, too.
Yeah, and a beautiful
Thank
cross.
you.
The rosary's nice.
Thank you. It was a Christmas gift. It's
Very
one of my
thoughtful.
favorite
Very
very
thoughtful
things.
gift.
Yeah.
I love it. But, yeah, so color coordination, I don't usually color coordinate. I wear whatever. If someone wants to judge me for it, I don't care. I can't see it. I don't care if you can.
Right.
It doesn't bother me. But, like, for professional things, like today, I was like, I'm going to be on camera. I can't look like a mess. Let me not wear sweatpants and a hoodie. I'll dress nicer. So I knew these were jeans. I didn't know if they were black or blue, but I know that my black pair of jeans have like these little fuzzy things at the bottom, so that's what gave it away.
Yeah.
So, but I still confirmed with my sister, like, hey, Bianca, are these black? She's like, yeah. So I was like, okay. And then I know the boots are black because I've wore them before, so it's kind of like memory.
Yeah.
This, I wasn't 100% sure because I have so many blazers.
Yeah.
But I can tell because these arms are thinner, so I know that I have a pink one in this and I have a black, so I just had to make sure. And then, to be honest, the top that I have, I stole from my sister. So
That's okay. That's what sisters are for, right?
exactly.
I used to do that
She
with
steals
Omar.
my clothes all the time, so I can steal hers too.
Hey, go for it. And just so you know, I have a brother-in-law who can fully see, who might need that app that you have to help him with clothing. Okay? He still can't put stuff together, okay? So don't even sweat it. You know what I'm
For
saying?
me, though, I usually wear jeans most of the time because jeans go with everything.
Yeah.
So it makes my life easier. So it's either jeans or black pants. I don't usually wear anything colorful in terms of pants. If I do, then I'll have like one or two pairs, and I'll have a shirt that's going to be the same shirt that will always go with that.
Sure.
In the summertime, just wear dresses or rompers because it's one piece and it's easy. You don't have to match it with anything.
Well, I'm like you. I love the sweatpants and hoodies.
Yeah.
I'm just comfortable all day in those.
Right.
I don't have to worry
I mean,
about
I'm
it.
a college student. That's what college students do. They
Yeah.
just wear sweats and hoodies.
I feel like I'm a college student still too. So I because Anthony, we used to have an older setup in here. I used to be able to hide all that. And when we changed up to this, and it's like, you got to change up and you got to look good now for the camera. So, well, you look great. So you've put yourself well together. So
Thank you.
So do you have friends and family that you want to give shout out to that have helped you along the way or mentor you with your life or your faith?
I'm gonna say literally all of my friends and all of my family, and definitely my teachers who dealt with my stubbornness to not do the things that they taught me because I use all of it in my everyday life now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to give a specific special shout out to my friend Jacqueline, though, because she is my editor and she is the one that makes me do these videos. She doesn't make me do anything, but because of her, I do these videos every Tuesday. And if I didn't have her to edit my videos, I would be so lost and probably not do it. My channel would not be as successful as it has been.
What's up next for the what kind of episodes are coming up? Do we need to
Today's
look out
video.
for?
Today's video is gonna be what was today? I recorded it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Oh, today's video is funny stories that are embarrassing that have happened to me because of being blind.
Sure.
And then next week's video, I haven't recorded it yet. I plan to record it probably tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
And that one is going to be me eating chocolate-covered bugs.
Ooh.
Because I'm a
What?
nutrition major and it's National Nutrition Month.
Okay.
And bugs are like the future protein source.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about that a little bit, just to throw in some nutrition. And
Yeah.
What bugs should we be eating leading up to this?
Okay, so I know people eat crickets. Some
Mhm.
people eat scorpions. Some people eat water bugs.
Where do we get these things
worms.
from?
I got mine on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know where you like other
Are they
places.
freeze dried or they pack them or are they just?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't tried them. I haven't done enough research on it. I've only read a couple of articles, so I need to do more research
Gotcha.
before tomorrow or Thursday if I'm going to do this video.
Well, let's can we get a quick funny skit from what's dropping on today's video? Because this is not going to go out to the viewers for a few weeks before it goes out. But you got
Okay.
something that you can share with us that's been humorous in your life that you've experienced?
From like the video that's going up.
Yeah, sure, just something that we
Your
can-
video will be out before this is out.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
definitely
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
we won't steal
yeah,
your
my
thunder.
video will be up in a couple
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, one of the things that I talked about was like how embarrassing it is saying thank you to doors that are opened by not a human being and just they're either automatic or they're propped open, and
I
I'm just
never
like,
thought-
thank you,
Oh,
and
because
then
you can hear it.
Yeah, it's opening and you're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
somebody's holding it, but
And
it's
then-
actually automatic.
or like it'll already be open, and then there's people that'll walk like around me, and I'm like, oh my god, that person was not holding the door open. They just heard me say thank you to this
Yeah.
door.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So, your sisters, you want to give them a shout out for being there for you all the time?
Yeah, shout out to my siblings. Oh, my brother too. I didn't really talk about him
Sure.
very much, but shout out to him because I'm his favorite sister. So
Sure.
he's
Who-
my
what's-
favorite brother.
What's their names?
What's his name?
Yep.
My sister that's 21 is Bianca. My brother is 16. His name is Demetrius, and my little sister Angelina is 9.
Nice. Nice.
And they're all katas.
Yep, we're all Kadas.
Do they all speak Sudat and Arabic?
For the not Arabic, but for
Okay.
the most part, they all speak Chaldean.
Sudat, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's a gift, definitely. So usually before we take off,
Before that, is
Yeah.
there anything that we didn't mention
Yeah.
that you want to
Yeah.
bring up? Or
Not
clo-
really, but subscribe to my channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, and you want them to know what your channel is?
It's Nicole Kada, NicoleKada.
Awesome. And then on your handles for your social media is the blind boss.
Okay, so Twitter is blind_boss and Instagram is blinding_beauty14. But if you want to follow my social media page on Facebook, it's Blind Boss Entertainment.
Nice.
I think they all link to Blind Boss Entertainment.
And do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, my Instagram is blinding_beauty14.
Oh, you said that.
Yep.
I
So
should probably listen.
we'll include that all in your video. So.
Yeah, are you deaf?
Yeah, right. Just in one ear.
So we're gonna include all that for the viewers to know where to find you on all
Okay.
those social media outlets and all that.
Cool.
So you do your video once a week? It drops on Tuesdays.
Every Tuesday, but make sure that you guys stay tuned because every time I reach 100 subscribers, I do a $20 giveaway. But when I reach 500 subscribers, I'm doing $50, and when I reach 1,000, I'm doing $100. And who doesn't want easy money? So.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Stay tuned, people.
Yes. So make sure you guys subscribe to her. So Anthony, I usually
Okay,
have a
so
question
yeah,
for-
so we close out every show with the final question, and the question is, what does it mean to you to be Chaldean?
I've heard this question.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
For me to be Chaldean, wow.
So you did an episode on being
Let's-
Chaldean and being blind, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you just work off of that one.
So because of the Chaldean community being so like old-fashioned and strict, it's not so much like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a challenge growing up blind, but it was also a blessing because the support system was amazing. Everyone was there,
Mm-hmm.
so I was never alone through my struggles. I guess that's one thing I really, really love about being Chaldean, and that's also part of my motivation to do YouTube. So
Yeah.
because of being Chaldean, I am a strong person.
So what does it mean to you though? I understand some of the things that you said, but what does it mean to you to be
What
Chaldean?
does it mean to me? That is such a hard question.
That's
and,
why
like,
we're here. That's why we ask it.
I want to challenge you.
I'm trying to think of like other people's responses, but I'm not gonna base it off of that.
No, just take into consideration is what it's done for you as a whole. Besides being supportive and all that, you know. You
I
speak
mean,
through that, so that's huge right there.
That is huge. Yeah, I mean, what does it mean to me? I wouldn't be who I am without it. That's
Right.
literally what it is. Like,
Yeah.
that's
It's really tough to put into words,
It
for
is.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know it, right?
Yeah.
right. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like
We
a
pride it.
feeling.
It's a feeling, yeah, no doubt.
It's like a
It's
feeling
part
without
of
words.
it's part of the vision you spoke of
Right.
earlier. It's the vision.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
Good.
Beautiful.
Good. Well, just to make sure we touched on everything, and we'll make sure people help get your subscription growth up on there too. We'll have this video out in a few weeks. It'll be up and going.
All right.
We're proud to have you on here and
Yeah,
all
well,
the
thank you
accomplishments
very
to see
much.
what you've done at such a young age and that
Thank
you
you
keep
for
pushing
having
through.
me.
Yes, we're definitely grateful to see stuff like this in our community. So as we're taking off right now, I want to make sure everybody goes to our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Chaldeans, subscribes to it, hit the like button, continuously follow us. It's helping us be able to do a lot more, as you're seeing now on our channel, along with our social media outlets. You have us on every other one, and you also have us on any podcast that's out there from iTunes, Spotify, and any other ones that you'd want to check us out on. That way you can just listen to us on your way to work or anything that you do. If there's anything that you would want to check out and see of our past, you can go to Keeping Up with the Chaldean homepage on our on the internet and check us out and see it there. And we also have sponsorship availability as well too. So from myself and my buddy Anthony and Nicole Kada, we are signing off with Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. Till next we see you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.